What is up, guys? My name is Nbay64, and welcome back to Showdowns of Valor. And today, we have a very special episode for you guys. We have a tournament episode, our first tournament episode for you guys. Basically, every once in a while, specifically every 4 episodes, we go in and we host a tournament on the Lake Valor Showdown server. For those of you who aren't aware, we do have a Lake Valor Showdown server. And unfortunately, normally, Gengar's Grin, my co-host, would be here with me, but unfortunately he had something he had to go do, so he will not be with us this episode. He will hopefully be back next episode. I miss him already, I feel so lonely. But the good news is, I've gotten the audio fixed, hopefully. I've moved my microphone a little bit closer to me, so hopefully stuff comes out crystal clear and you can listen to my deep and undeniably sexy voice. So yeah, with all that out of the way, we're going to get started here real quick. Let's just do a little bit of chatting first. I'm trying to get a little bit loose. We've got a bit of a small tournament this episode, which is alright, because I think this was actually a bit of a bad date for most people, but, you know, just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, I guess. Let's chat a little bit first. Say hi to the YouTube's people, and that is an odd way to say hi, but you know what, I'll roll with it. Alright, we got so let's just give a brief rundown on the people in here. We've got Bloom, who is one of our lovely administrators on the site. Azur, who is was one of our newest moderators, actually. Norris, who I believe that's Dragon. No, Dragon. Yeah, that should be Dragon. Who's a gym leader. We have Smugleaf, close friend. Myself. Of course I'm competing, why wouldn't I be? So Rob 101, one of our competitive battlers extraordinaires. And Super Bob 3. I think I added an extra Bob in there, I don't really care. Who is Apalm on the forums, I believe. And so now that I've done that out of the way, let's get this started. Alright, our first match. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to commentate every match because I'm participating in the tournament. But it looks like the first match is going to be me and Rob 101, so this will be fun. As we get things underway in the next couple of minutes. Alright, let's get this started. And I need to... give me a minute, guys. And we're back. Sorry about that. I had to disable the audio for a minute. Let's... Alright. Very interesting. For those who are wondering why I've got this on, I'm using LVOU, which is our custom format. Basically, we have some Pokemon here that are not tournament banned normally, but we have them in here anyway. I'm predicting lead with Garchomp, so we're going to go into Greninja. No, he went into Talonflame. This is not very good for me. My best bet here is actually to go for the Hydro Pump. Nope, he went for the Bravier. Oh, Gale Wings, how I hate you. Alright, let's... Shit, this guy messes with my entire team. Yes, you want to go? We'll go. I know a Brave Bird won't knock this out. So he switches into Mamoswine, takes the Draco Meteor, Mamoswine's down, and goes into Scizor. As he's likely predicting, the Charizard switch, so I'm going to go into Conkeldurr. Let's see, Mega Evolves and goes for the Swords Dance. That is not good for me at all. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go for the Mach Punch. That did not work out very well for me. So my Soul Vest has been knocked off. I'm going to go for my Drain Punch. Get back some health. Although it won't be a lot. It does knock him down to about half, which is nice. As I'm going to real quick. I'm not going to risk X-Scissor, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch into Zard. I see Swords Dance is up again, but that is great because that gives me the opportunity to Mega Evolve and go for an Earthquake. Which will do a bit of damage here. I will... God, this is not looking good for me. Switch out. Go into Aegislash. I go for Shadow Sneak. And King Shield. Shadow Sneak. Bullet punching your priority. Alright. Let's play around here for a moment. Not much I can do here. Please don't... Oh, come on. Oh, there is a god. I stand corrected. There is no god. There is no spoon. Kudos to you if you got that reference. Alright, so it looks like I'm out. Let's see if we can't find another battle. Let's look at Naurus and Azure Edge. Let's see. Ooh, I like the sprite for Azure. That's actually really cool. Let's take a look here. Next one goes for Thundersoul. Aegislash is down. And let's see. Azure goes into a Scrafty. Not sure how this is going to help. I guess Scrafty can go in against Magnezone. Scrafty goes for the Drain Punch, brings back the health it lost from Stealth Rocks. Naurus goes into Diancie, and this is likely Mega Diancie. So, this is not going to look good for Scrafty at all. Azure needs to switch out here, and she knows it. So, as we go for the Mega Evolve and Protect, Scrafty does not switch out, and instead chooses to be sacked. Not anticipating the Protect. As Azure switches into Volcarona, takes a heavy hit from the Stealth Rocks. Diancie finishes off with a Diamond Storm. Azure goes into Gliscor, which doesn't take as much of a hit from Stealth Rocks, possibly due to being part ground type. Diancie goes for the Protect again as Azure goes for the Earthquake. Gets hit by the Toxic Orb, but that reveals that this is actually Poison Heal Gliscor. meaning that it's going to get back some health. Pulls out an unexpected substitute. I did not see that coming at all. Gyarados goes into its own substitute. Gliscor goes into an Iron Tail, yet another unexpected move. I was assuming this was acrobatics, Gliscor, but apparently it is not. So what's the next play that's going to happen? That is beyond me. So let's take a look. Gyarados pulls off another Dragon Dance as Gliscor is still sitting pretty behind that substitute. Goes into a U-turn. Was not expecting that at all. Sends out Rotom Wash. Not just any Rotom Wash, a shiny Rotom Wash. Gyarados brings into another substitute, but Rotom Wash tries to go for the T-Wave and does not manage to pull it off. Gyarados goes for the Waterfall, doesn't, just barely managing to not kill Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash goes for a Hydro Pump, doesn't work well. Gyarados goes for another Waterfall, and Rotom Wash is down. Azure is left solely to the Gliscor at this point. I'm talking very quickly. I don't know why. Sure enough, Gliscor falls victim to the Waterfall, and Naurus wins the round. Let's take a look at Bloom and Super Bob 3. Oh, well, this is something. Bloom switches into Aegislash, takes a hit from the Psychic. As we take a look at what's going on here. This looks very interesting. This is a very interesting team. Very interesting team from Bloom. Aegislash goes into Blade forward, tries to go for the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, Chestnut is immune. Let's take a look here. Chestnut goes for Spikes. I forgot Chestnut could learn that, actually. As Bloom needs to make a play here. I don't know what that Ferrothorn's got, but if it's got Rapid Spin, actually it likely doesn't, because the Latios has Defog. More likely than not, but it's actually paralyzed after hovering over it for a little bit. Sure enough, goes into a Latios. Chestnut gets off another layer of Spikes, but Latios is likely going to Defog it all away very shortly. Alright, let's get back to the match. Take a look at the brackets real quick. Alright, so as it looks right now, Naurus has won his match. Bloom and Super Bob 3 are still in the midst of conflict. And Sorov has won his match. Actually. He's going into that final bracket. Bloom switches. Back into Chestnut. Aegislash pulls out the flash cannon. And let's look here. Alright. Ladle. Okay, Reniculus versus Ferrothorn. Two pretty much wall versus wall at this point. You know, Reniculus has a little bit more offensive prowess than Ferrothorn. Although Ferrothorn has a nasty gyro ball. Don't want to get close to that thing. Alright. Bloom goes into Gyarados, gets out the Intimidate, cuts Reniculus's attack, although it doesn't matter because Reniculus is more often than not a special attacker. Reniculus goes for another Calm Mind. So next move. Bloom is taking no punches and Mega Evolves immediately. Reniculus falls victim to paralysis and cannot make a move. Bloom goes for the Dragon Dance. Works in her favor at the moment, but loses the substitute thanks to a Shadow Ball. Gyarados going to be able to knock out Reniculus with just one stage of attack. Very close. And Gyarados just barely hangs in there, meaning it's going to be able to Waterfall again next turn and take out Reniculus. Apon is left with Azumarill versus Bloom's 4 Pokemon. So I think it's safe to say Bloom's won, but let's see if Apon can't clutch a victory out of this. Oh, Belly Drum Azumarill did not go well. Goes for the Aqua Jet, really can't do much else. Gyarados gets knocked out. Problem is, Bloom still has Ferrothorn. Perfectly timed too. Wow, I was not expecting that. Anyway, as we can see here, got quite a bit on our hands. Azumarill goes for Superpower. Takes a heavy hit. Extremely heavy, but does manage to knock out Ferrothorn. Problem is, it's still 2-1, and Bloom still has Heatran, which, although falls victim to Azumarill's Aqua Jet, can pull out at least one Flash Cannon if it's at full health, which will win her the game. Well, it goes into Conkeldurr though, so I'm wondering what the play is here. If she's just going to go for a Mach Punch and win the game now, or she's got something else up her sleeve. Maybe, by any chance, a Steel-type move? Or maybe Grass Knot. That'd be very interesting. I feel so lonely without GG by my side. I'm not used to doing solo commentary anymore. It's been ages. Let's take a look at what's going on. What's the play? What's the play? This could go on for God knows how long. I'm actually going to pause until they make a play. And we're back. Conkeldurr went for the knock punch, and Bloom won, as I expected. So, who is next? It's Norris and Bloom. This'll be fun. Alright. We're still in the challenging phase here. I'm actually going to pause until the match begins. And we're back. The match has started. As we look at the lineup, it looks like, ooh, this is going to be very interesting. So we'll take a look at what's going on. Take a look at who comes out first. I'm predicting that the Ferrothorn on Bloom's team is likely running Spikes, and if not, Heatran's running Stealth Rocks. So we're either going to see Heatran or Ferrothorn coming out on Bloom's side first, and we'll likely see Garchomp on Norris. Bloom predicts Garchomp coming out first and goes to Gyarados. I was not expecting that. It's going to be very interesting. See what happens here. Gyarados goes for the Dragon Dance, and Garchomp goes for Dragon Tail, switching out into, unfortunately, Clefable, so it looks like Garchomp's going to have to switch, because this is not an opportune matchup for him at all. But we will see what happens. Sure enough, Norris switches into Magnezone, and Bloom, predicting the switch, goes into an Air Balloon Heatran. So Norris is likely going to either have to switch out again, most likely. Yep. Norris switches into Gyarados. Bloom anticipates something, was trying to anticipate or scout and went for Protect, but unfortunately it failed. The next move is Bloom is likely going to switch into, I'm going to predict Ferrothorn. Sure enough. giving Naros time to pull out a substitute. If Ferrothorn's running Power Whip here, this might be devastating for Gyarados. But we will see. Goes Gyro Ball, and Magnezone comes in to take the hit. We will see what happens next. Ferrothorn goes for Protect, blocking a hidden power. That is most likely hidden power Fire. And a very powerful one at that. Makes me wonder whether or not this Magnezone is spexed, which it actually might be. As Bloom switches into Heatran, Naros is likely going to have to switch out and go back into Gyarados. Or, if the change wants to be made, can switch into Garchomp. Be a little bit unpredictable. Sure enough, she switches into Garchomp, but gets hit by a Toxic. Ooh. Garchomp pulls out Stealth Rocks. Both teams exchange rocks, rather. Garchomp takes a hit from the poison. Heatran pulls out a Protect, avoiding to be getting swapped out by the Dragon Tail. Garchomp slowly losing all of his health. It's hit by a Lava Plume. Garchomp gets off the Dragon Tail this time, popping Heatran's Air Balloon and switching into, yet again, Clefable. Wondering what the deal is going to be here. Fable is just kind of standing there. Naros switches into Skarmory. Gets hit by the Moonblast. It crit too, but did not do much damage. Most likely due to the quad resistance Skarmory has to fairy types, which actually gave it a surge in popularity in Gen 6. Skarmory goes into the Whirlwind, causing Heatran to switch out into Aegislash. Was not expecting this. Let's take a look at what the next play is going to be. Skarmory goes for Defog, getting rid of Stealth Rocks as Aegislash goes into Blade form and pulls out a Flash Cannon. Why did I say pulls out? Should have just said used. Naros switches into Garchomp, gets hit by a Shadow Ball, and Garchomp faints. Switches into Magnezone, wondering what the play is going to be here. Most likely a hidden power Fire. Bloom pulls out a King Shield, gets protected from Thunderbolt, which I was not expecting. I thought she was going to go for hidden power Fire. But now Magnezone, if it is spexed, which I do believe it is locked into Thunderbolt. Sure enough, it is locked into Thunderbolt. And that is definitely Choice Specs damage, as Conkeldurr just lost over half its health. Conkeldurr faints. What is Bloom's next play? Most likely switching into Heatran. Or if the Clefable is running Fire Blast, that might also be a switch in, which it is. So Clefable is likely running Fire Blast. Naros switches out, goes into Gyarados. Fable pulls out a Calm Mind. Ooh, we're getting some stalling going on here. Now, something I just noticed is both teams actually... No, they don't. Naros runs Mega Diancie. Gyarados tries to pull out a substitute, but fails because Clefable manages to kill it. Bloom goes for a Moonblast on Gyarados, which almost knocks it out. Gyarados goes for an unexpected bounce. I didn't think this Gyarados was running bounce, but apparently it is. Fable continues to Calm Mind up. And give me 1 second real quick. I needed that. Sorry, I had to crack my back for a moment. As painful as that sounds. Gyarados goes for the bounce, but misses, and Clefable pulls out a soft boiled, gaining back all of its health. Gyarados goes for a waterfall, and Clefable gets hit by a flinch. Gyarados goes for a bounce again, avoiding a Moonblast from Clefable. Wondering what the next play is going to be here. Gyarados gets off a successful bounce this time, and Clefable Calm Minds up yet again. Coming in at 2.5 special attack, 2.5 special defense. This is not looking good for Gyarados at all, as Clefable anticipates another bounce and soft boils up. Gyarados misses the bounce, gets hit by a heavy Moonblast, and faints. Now it switches into Magnezone, trying to pull off a Flash Cannon. Hits it, Clefable loses a little under half its health, but Clefable pulls out a Stab Moonblast, killing Magnezone. Diancie comes out. Mega Evolves, goes for the Diamond Storm, but misses, as Clefable goes into another softball. This Clefable is proving to be a nuisance to Naurus' entire team. Clefable gets hit by Diamond Storm as Diancie's defense increases, but that doesn't prevent it from taking an entire Oko from a Moonblast. Naurus only has one option left for this Clefable, and that's to switch into Skarmory, which does not die to a Moonblast, whirlwinds away Clefable, and pulls out Heatran. Heatran goes for the Lava Plume, killing Skarmory. Naurus is only left with Chestnut, which will die to a Lava Plume. And it is safe to say the winner of this match is Bloom. Chestnut goes for Spiky Shield, avoiding one Lava Plume as it's slowly gaining back health through a combination of leftovers and Leech Seed. Anticipates another Lava Plume and manages to pull out a second Spiky Shield. Chestnut can only keep doing this for so long, as sure enough, it's about to... Oh! Now that's unexpected. Chestnut pulls out a Drain Punch, taking back some of its health that it just lost from that heavy hit from a Lava Plume. As Bloom sends out a Clefable, most likely going to go for a Moonblast against Chestnut since he's part Fighting type, which will win Bloom the game. Sure enough, Chestnut's just trying to get back every inch of health it can, and Clefable does not want that. So this match goes to Bloom. Alright. The final match is upon us. Bloom versus Sohrab. Let's get it on. So we take a look. Looks like Rob's plays, he's going to either anticipate the Ferrothorn and go for T-Flame, or he's going to anticipate Heatran and go for Garchomp. We'll find out what happens. As Sohrab pulls out an unexpected beginning with Thundurus. I was not expecting this lead. And Bloom pulls out Conkeldurr, which I wasn't expecting either. Looks like Bloom's predicted the Thunderous, though, as Conkeldurr was likely running Ice Punch. Anticipating that, possibly, Sohrab goes into Garchomp, which gets hit by a Stone Edge. Garchomp goes for an Earthquake, not knocking out Conkeldurr, and takes a heavy hit from a Drain Punch. Conkeldurr gains back the majority of its health, but also loses about like half of what it absorbed due to Garchomp's rough skin. Sorry if you hear my lips are a little dry. Switches into Thunderous, takes the hit from a Mach Punch. As Thunderous goes for Thunderbolt, paralyzing Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr goes for a knockoff, getting rid of a Thunderous's Assault Vest. I was not expecting that at all. Conkeldurr gets paralyzed and falls victim to a Charge Beam, causing it to faint. This is not starting off so easily for Bloom. We'll see if she can't recover from this. I just like doing that. I'm sorry. Because it kind of replays. We'll watch a replay of that. Yes. Okay. Bloom goes into Aegislash. As Sohrab's Thunderous faints from a Shadow Sneak. Sohrab goes into Talonflame, most likely going to pull off a Flare Blitz or against Aegislash. Let's actually, nah, never mind, I'll leave it where it is. Aegislash anticipates the Flare Blitz and goes for a King Shield. Unfortunately, Talonflame did not go for a Flare Blitz, instead went for Will-O-Wisp, hitting and burning Aegislash. Talonflame goes for a Brave Bird against Heatran, knocking out its Air Balloon. I don't know why I said knocking out, I should have just said bursting. My vocabulary is just not on fleek today. Heatran goes for Stealth Rocks as Sohrab goes into his own Air Balloon Heatran. Wondering what the play is here. Bloom goes into Gyarados. Heatran loses some of that ability, goes for a Flash Cannon. Doesn't do much damage. Gyarados is likely going to go into a Substitute, get out of Dragon Dance, Mega Evolve, and go for a Waterfall. At least that's my prediction. Let's see what Sohrab might do to counter that. Sure enough, Gyarados goes for the Substitute. Heatran went for a Llama Plume, doesn't manage to knock it out though. So, Gyarados, it looks like, is going to be able to get at least one successful Dragon Dance, which might be enough to knock out Heatran. Sure enough, Gyarados Mega Evolves and goes for a Dragon Dance. Heatran manages to get rid of Gyarados' Substitute through a Flash Cannon. But it might be too late, as I believe Gyarados can now outspeed, or actually it already did outspeed Heatran. So it might be too late for Heatran here. Gyarados goes into another Substitute. I was not expecting this. Apparently one Dragon Dance is not going to be enough. But nope, just one at the safety net as Gyarados proves that one Dragon Dance is all it took to knock out Heatran. Rob sends out Garchomp, who gets sacked because of Stealth Rocks. goes into Scizor. Mega Evolves, goes for the Bullet Punch, getting rid of Gyarados' substitute, takes a heavy hit from the Waterfall. Scizor goes for another Bullet Punch, doesn't manage to knock out Gyarados though, as Gyarados pulls out a second Waterfall, getting rid of Scizor. Mamoswine comes out, pulls out an Earthquake, knocking out Gyarados. Bloom switches into Clefable. Mamoswine goes for an Earthquake. Clefable goes for a Moonblast, taking out half of Mamoswine's health. Ooh, Mamoswine just barely manages to get a second Moonblast. This is not looking good for Sohrab at all right now. Mamoswine goes for another Earthquake, knocking out Clefable. Bloom switches into Aegislash, who is still suffering from that burn. Pulls into a Shadow Sneak, getting rid of Mamoswine. As now Talonflame comes out, who takes a heavy hit from the Stealth Rocks, roosts up. Aegislash goes for the Shadow Sneak, gets hit by the burn again. Aegislash goes into King's Shield, and Sohrab, predicting the King's Shield, goes for Roost, bringing himself back up to full health. Aegislash can't get another King's Shield off and gets hit by a Brave Bird, leaving it with just 1 health, which it loses from the burn. This is not looking good for either contestant right now, as although Bloom overwhelms Talonflame 2-1, Ferrothorn cannot go toe-to-toe with Talonflame easily. As to what the play is going to be here, I am not entirely sure. Talonflame finally pulls out a Flare Blitz, knocking out Ferrothorn entirely, but takes a huge hit from Iron Barbs, a Rocky Helmet, recoil damage, and its own Life Orb. Talonflame's left with just 6 health. Goes for a Brave Bird and gets sacked. The winner is Bloom. So, congrats to Bloom for winning the first ever SOV tourney. And your prizes, should you choose to accept them, are a tournament medal and 500 Poké Points. And with that out of the way, we will see you guys next episode of Showdowns of Valor. See you guys then.